Now, as a Fashion Week in Seoul Fashion Week first timer, what are your impressions, general impressions?
Fashion Week in Seoul is something that I've been looking forward to for a really long time. It's very different in its organization, in that there are fully equipped press rooms, and that makes life a hell of a lot easier. But there are also a lot of things that are not necessarily user-friendly, shall I say, in terms of having opportunities for English media press, overseas press, to have more of a voice. If you search for Seoul Fashion Week, you will usually come up with Naver sites. Naver is like the Google of Korea, but because it's the Google of Korea, it's mostly only available in Korean. So it's really difficult for overseas press to get any information. The shows themselves have been really, really well put together. I can see the designers and the planners have gone to a hell of a lot of work to make sure that everything goes according to plan. Yes, we've had late starts, but then again, Fashion Week in Paris or Fashion Week anywhere else for that matter, you're lucky if your show starts on time, and more often than not it starts about 40 minutes later. So 15 minutes late is not a big deal. I would have liked to maybe have some of the shows in the same venue. That was something that I felt was really important to me, being a foreigner, and also to people from the foreign media, the overseas press, who came to Seoul specifically for the show. And have never...
It wasn't all in the same place? Maybe you want to explain that?
Yeah, what happens is usually with a fashion week, if you want to try and get as much coverage as possible, usually what would happen is you would have all of your shows in one venue for the entire day. So you'd have, for example, your menswear or women's wear or what have you, all in one venue from, say, 9 or 10 when it starts, and it runs all the way through with breaks in between until the time it ends. Now what happened with Seoul Fashion Week was that you had some venues on the other side of town. You had some in a gallery, you had some in an exclusive department store, and some at the War Memorial, which was the main venue in Seoul. So what I found yesterday, just for example, it was pelting down with rain. I was running around from venue to venue with an umbrella that was not cooperating with me. The rain was pelting me, the wind was happening, and you have to pitch up and look presentable and look dressed and look professional. So it was kind of difficult for me because you're finishing one show maybe at 12:30, 12:20, 45. Then you've got 15 minutes to get to your next show and find a seat. And when you get there, there's lines, there's people, there's elevators, there's traffic. So there's a whole lot of things that need to be considered. A way to streamline all of that would just be to have everything in one place. Or alternatively, if you have 3 venues, then have 2 days in one venue, 2 days in another venue, and 2 days in the last venue, which makes things easier.
Any other comparisons or comments you might want to make?
I really like the way that the designers have used their media. I commented on this in my own work in a couple of articles that I've been writing, and their use of fabrics and textiles is very ingenious. For example, usually leather is for bags and maybe pants and more harder wearing working things, whereas some of the designers have taken leather and restructured it, repurposed it, and made really soft, beautiful looking feminine garments, and usually leather is not associated with feminine at all. So they've done some really nice things with different types of fabrics and textiles. They've also used a lot of specifically Korean styled garments, and the styling of a garment and the cut and patterns have been specifically quite Korean. Korean people tend to be really skinny and smaller in frame and build, so the garments have really fitted the women really beautifully, but they've also emphasized their curves. So I really like that ladylike dressing. The menswear, on the other hand, is very different to a lot of menswear overseas, because although some designers will dabble in color with like a touch of blue, a touch of green, a touch of red, Seoul Fashion Week, they're definitely not scared. No holds barred, they bring all the colors out. Super short shorts paired with formal shoes and colorful socks with bright ties and bow ties and jackets. For example, the way that I'm dressed today, I'm here as press, but I wanted to fit in terms of the clothing and the styling. So I'm all dressed in black and white, but I have some color at least so that I look a little bit more Korean friendly. The menswear has been really nice. Very dandy is the word. Dandyism is basically just very refined dressing, and dressing where you're not afraid to use color and to use detail and accessories. Yeah, the clothing's been really, really nice. There've been some very unique interpretations. Some clothing where I don't know who would wear it. Honestly, I don't think it's wearable. And for me, fashion needs to at least be comfortable and wearable. Yes, you can look good. Yes, it can fit well, but it needs to be wearable. And some of the garments, I looked at them and I was like, yes, it's very, very creative, very imaginative, but no one's gonna wear this. It's pretty, but it's not wearable. So that was one of my only major comments and concerns with Fashion Week.
Any designers that you liked?
Oh my god, I loved Hazard. It was actually an exclusive invite-only show that I got invited to, and he just contacted me and he's like, I really liked your style of writing, I've done some research on you, would you be interested in coming to the show? So I said, hell to the yes, I'll be there. And I was front row, and it was really, really nice. The color palette was a lot of greys and aubergines and yellows and navy blues, but very muted. So you'd have a very muted palette with a hint of color. And it was really nice. The cut was really nice. The styling was really good. The models were exceptional. I really liked his choice of models as well. There was another show this morning. I don't know how to say the designer's name, but it's D-O-I-I.
Doughy.
Doughy.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I love that. And then last night there was Yang's. Yang's was really good as well. Very feminine, very flirty. But what was interesting is that traditionally in Korean fashion and Korean dressing, women are more conservative, not really showing much skin. And if they do show skin, it would just be the legs. It wouldn't really be any cleavage or shoulders. And with his designs, it was really nice because it was a Korean take on a Western style. So Koreans love shine and shimmer and flowy fabrics, feminine dressing, but it was very masculine in that there was like form-fitting garments and bodices showing off cleavage, which was really interesting for me. But then to keep with the Korean conservatism, they would have like a semi-see-through shawl over or something that would temporarily hide you. And I really liked that it was flirty, it was showing but not really showing. So that was really nice for me. I really enjoyed Yang's show. I thought it was probably the best one I've seen so far, aside from some of the bridal collections. Yeah.
And where are you from yourself?
I'm from South Africa, originally born and bred. I've been in Korea for just about a year now. Really enjoying the people and the places. It's been a bit of a culture shock for certain aspects, but in others it's just been really refreshing. Korean people tend to be really friendly and inviting, and they want to know more about you as a person. So I have had people stop me on the street and say, hey, where are you from? And have a conversation with me. So I've really enjoyed Korea. It's been a really good experience for me.
And who are you covering for?
I'm covering for Dossier magazine. It's a luxury brand in South Africa, and we do a lot of high-end clothing. So I've been trying to focus on that and feature a lot of the accessories as well as the higher-end labels. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Good.